Have you ever noticed how you can completely ignore the continuous hum of a mechanical fan after just a few minutes? Or, how you totally stop noticing the rhythmic ticking of a clock in the room until someone specifically points it out to you? Well, welcome to Mastery of English. Today, we are exploring an absolutely incredible hidden system inside your mind.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the chaos of silence. Then, essential neurological vocabulary, the brain's noise filter, surviving sensory overload, advanced English practice, and finally, the edited reality.
Section 1. The chaos of silence. What if your brain stopped filtering sounds? It's honestly a terrifying hypothetical scenario. I want you to just imagine for a second. What if your brain suddenly stopped filtering sound? Imagine every single sound around you right now, from the subtle buzz of fluorescent lights overhead to the distant rumble of traffic outside to the rhythm of your own breathing and literally even the pulsing of your own heartbeat, hitting your mind with full, unmitigated force, all at the exact same time. Would we eventually adapt to that massive sensory onslaught, or would reality just become completely unbearable? Well, the truth is, right now, your brain is secretly deleting thousands of sounds from your conscious awareness. And it's not because your ears lack the physical capacity to hear them, but because your brain is actively making strategic decisions about what to suppress. This hidden system is absolutely crucial. It's exactly what helps us stay focused, emotionally calm, and highly functional. Without it, our everyday reality would turn into total mental chaos.
Section 2. Essential neurological vocabulary. Words to know before we dive in.
First up is sensory overload. This is a condition where the brain receives excessive sensory information all at once, which basically far exceeds its processing capacity. Think of how a really crowded shopping mall or a super busy, echoing subway station can easily trigger this overwhelming feeling for sensitive folks. The brain is just getting way too much data simultaneously. Next is filter. In the world of neuroscience, to filter means to remove or suppress unnecessary or irrelevant information. Your brain essentially acts as an automatic, highly sophisticated bouncer for background noises, constantly deciding what gets through to your conscious mind and what gets blocked at the door. Then we have hyperstimulation. This is an excessive level of stimulation that causes extreme neural activation and stress. So the really crucial takeaway here is that constant unfiltered noise leads straight into this exhausting state of hyperstimulation. It leaves the brain totally drained of energy because, well, it never actually gets a chance to rest. Fourth is awareness, which is defined as the conscious perception or acknowledgement of something in the environment. And it is truly fascinating to realize that the vast majority of background sounds never actually make the cut to reach our conscious awareness. They are stopped in their tracks long before we can even actively notice them. Finally, neurological, meaning anything related to the brain, the nervous system, and neurological processes. Researchers extensively study these exact neurological responses to understand how we process and manage to survive in our really complex, noisy daily environments. Section 3. The brain's noise filter. How sensory gating works. Seriously, just think about the everyday sounds your brain ignores. The hum of an AC unit, footsteps, birds singing outside, the electrical buzz from lights, distant conversations, even the fabric of your own clothes rustling against your skin. There's a staggering number of sounds existing in our environment every single second. Yet, remarkably, they vanish almost instantly from our conscious minds. Your brain makes the executive call that these repetitive inputs just aren't important enough to consume your limited cognitive energy. The scientific term for this incredible phenomenon is sensory gating. It's an automatic process where the brain blocks repetitive or irrelevant stimuli so the conscious mind can actually focus. It's basically your brain's natural built-in noise filter. Without sensory gating, our attention capacity would just completely and utterly collapse under the sheer weight of constant environmental data. So, a central player in this whole biological filtering process is a structure called the thalamus. The thalamus acts like a sophisticated control center deep inside your brain. Almost every single sound signal from your ears passes directly through it before ever reaching your conscious perception. This structure is continuously asking, what absolutely demands conscious focus right now and what should be completely suppressed? It's the ultimate gatekeeper. And there is such a stark contrast between a normally functioning filtered brain and an unfiltered brain suffering from sensory overload. On the filtered side, the brain is calm, it's focused, and it easily suppresses background noise. But look at the unfiltered side. It's hyperstimulated. It processes all sounds with equal importance, and it very quickly becomes completely mentally exhausted. Trying to focus on any single task in that state is practically impossible.
Section 4. Surviving sensory overload. When the filter fails. Now, for some populations, a failing filter is not just a neat theoretical experiment. It is a daily, exhausting, lived experience. Neuroscience researchers increasingly link altered or reduced sensory filtering to several specific conditions. This includes ADHD, PTSD, autism spectrum conditions, severe anxiety disorders, and schizophrenia. For instance, in PTSD, the brain might stay hyper-alert, treating small, totally harmless sounds as possible threats. Or in autism spectrum conditions, sensory information is often processed fundamentally differently, making certain environments feel intensely overwhelming. We aren't making any clinical judgments here. We're just impartially reporting how a difference in neurological filtering dramatically shifts how someone actually experiences the world around them. Get this incredibly precise number: 50. In the laboratory, scientists can actually measure sensory gating using what's called the paired click paradigm. They found that evidence of sensory gating can be measured in the brain just 50 milliseconds after hearing a click. This is known as the P50 wave, a tiny electrical response that researchers track to study exactly how the brain naturally inhibits repetitive sounds in the conditions we just talked about. In just 50 milliseconds, your brain has already decided whether a sound matters or not. No way, right?
Section 5. Advanced English Practice. Repeat these sentences aloud. Let's actively practice what we've learned today. I really want you to read out loud with me right now to build that muscle memory. Repeat this sentence clearly, paying close attention to your pronunciation. The human brain constantly filters unnecessary sounds automatically. Excellent. Okay, let's try the next one. Take a deep breath, pause, and practice this sentence about sensory overload. Excessive sensory information can completely overwhelm the mind. Great job. And let's do one more. I encourage you one last time to read this sentence out loud to really lock in that vocabulary through spaced repetition. Sensory overload can significantly impair concentration and focus. Fantastic work. Section 6, the edited reality, conclusion, and outro. To summarize, the big, profound takeaway today is that your brain isn't just passively hearing reality. It is actively and continuously editing your world every single second to keep you focused, sane, and protected from an avalanche of infinite data. It's truly amazing. If you enjoyed this explainer, subscribe to Mastery of English for more fascinating deep dives into neuroscience, psychology, advanced English, and the hidden systems inside your mind. And comment below. What sound do you think would annoy you the fastest if your brain stopped filtering noise?